Welcome to the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
Happy Valentine's Day, Ian.
Happy Valentine's Day to you, Kyle.
That's what day it is. So exciting. I wonder how many questions about shipping we're going to get today.
This has been a great episode. Thank you so much for supporting us over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and being a YouTube member. We're out here. Bye.
Well, we didn't make this like a special episode or anything, so it's probably just about the normal amount as usual. So,
are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure.
All right,
I'm
I'll get back on mic.
sure. Yeah. So there might also be some carryover of like some Valentine's style questions into the next episode too, but we'll see. We'll see. Sorry guys, I didn't really time this, so if you sent in a question it was like, oh, Valentine's Day, and you were hoping it would be on the Valentine's Day episode, I'm sorry. It may not be, but
you were also sick, so we're kind of making up for lost time.
You know what?
It's how it goes.
Yeah, I was sick, but so I'm trying to still be like good and professional and like know what to do at my job, Ian. It's not working, but I mean, I'm at least trying to pretend.
They've been with us this long, Kyle. They know what the deal is.
Okay. Let's not waste more time, and let's get into it with this one from For Sonic Fan. While Sonic traveled to a lot of places throughout the years, from Station Square to Adabat and even Holoska, let's say Scourge visited these places as well. What would his favorite place be and why?
That is an excellent question, and I'm not sure how to approach it. Because we're not talking like anti-versions of these places. We're talking just Scourge traveling the world. And
the prime world? Like the main world?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That seems to be the direction of the question.
That's what I'm getting, yeah.
Sonic travels because he loves the exploration. He loves the adventure. He likes meeting new people and seeing new things. And Scourge doesn't. I mean, what does he like when you get down? We know what he hates. And that's what gives him life. But what does he actually enjoy? Does he actually like things other than being a jerk to people? And he can do that anywhere. Like from Adabat to Alaska, he's going to antagonize everyone in their own special regional ways. So maybe that's what he likes. Each region gives him a new and interesting way to terrorize people.
What does he think about capitalism?
That was not part of the question, Kyle.
Oh. Well, I mean, if you're looking for something he'd be into, like, that seems like something he'd be into. Sonic doesn't care. Sonic has no interest in capitalism. But Scourge, I don't know. Feels like he might be.
Maybe he would chase that.
I think Scourge would be down to clown with the NFTs. I think he'd be
He would fall for NFTs.
No, he would be way into crypto. Like anything that could be a scam is like he's in, he's on it, he's on board.
Well, I think he'd fall for it. Fiona might be the one who's running the racket, but he'd be the one who actually buys them.
Oh, darn. I was hoping he'd be the one pulling all the rugs, but no, turns out he's the one getting the rugs pulled from under him.
He's not that smart, no.
No, okay.
He's not buying them, he's stealing them. That's what it is. And
that's
like,
true.
Wait, it's just a bunch of JPEGs? And you're telling me they're worth something. How stupid do you think I am? I'm gonna burn this server down.
Control A and then Control S. Save them all. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? All right. Here's a question from Andrew D. You've got over the potential anti-versions of the Sonic games, so what about a potential anti-version of the IDW comics up until now? I know that's a lot of stories, so feel free to be as brief or as detailed as you like.
The stories themselves. Okay. Wow. Macro view. We got Neo Metal's Revenge, which is Neo Metal filling in the gap left behind because Eggman's gone MIA post the Eggman War. So to anti-verse that, you would have Kinto Bor, I guess, finally being proactive in stopping all of the anarchy across the world and revitalizing it and bringing it back into form, restoring nature, bringing law and order, feeding people, building infrastructure, the monster.
Rude.
And the various anti-forces having to cooperate to break his tyrannical utopia. So instead of any kind of dramatic, confusing Phantom Ruby stuff, Kintobor's just sad and kind of goes into hiding.
Mm-hmm.
So that would mean his Neo Metal would be like the virtuous version of Metal Sonic. Scourge. Neo Metal Scourge. Okay, there we go. Who doesn't want to be the one true Scourge. He wants to supplant and improve upon the concept of Scourge. And so he's still trying to take over and fill in where Kintobor left off. Maybe he's actively trying to find his mentor and master. I must find Papa. He was ever so sad. And I guess that culminates with him raising all of Demon Island out of the ocean to be like a giant aircraft carrier type of thing. That's not a bad visual, gotta say.
That's pretty cool.
So you have all the various anti-characters coming together to burn it all down because nobody's going to tell them what to do. They'll ruin their own planet and they'll like it.
That's right.
So that means Kintobor, he's been hiding all this time and he's perfecting the metal virus, which...
I was thinking it was like, like a happy fun times virus,
Like it had good intentions. It was supposed to like diminish aggression and be a panacea for all ills and bring harmony to everyone. But oops, it turns you into a robot zombie. Didn't mean to do that. Oopsie doodles.
Oops. Oh, so it does the same thing as the...
Yeah, we're going to hit the similar beats because it's not like it's completely one-to-one evil because there was still a kingdom of Acorn. Yeah. It wasn't like it was a democracy of Acorn. It's not a complete everything is opposite.
Yeah, and I mean, Sonic is still technically Sonic, even though he now calls himself Scourge. He was just Sonic. Like, everyone was still the same name and everything, but...
So the inverse of this is that you have Dr. Starline, who I don't know what we're going to anti-verse his name with. We'll call him Dr. Wachidna just because. He feigns to be a Kintobor fanboy. That's how he got in the door, but he's the one who actually messed with the formula, turning it into the zombie apocalypse virus. He's the one who ruined everything from the get-go.
Yeah.
But as time goes on, he sees just how truly virtuous and upstanding Kintobor is. He genuinely wants to help everyone and has a change of heart and realizes, oh no, I've ruined a truly incredible vision. He is someone worth following, but he's already burned his bridges, so Kintobor spurns him.
Yep, there you go.
And Scourge gets infected early on, realizes that he can spread this virus by touch, so he just plays one giant game of tag with the planet. Boop, you're infected. Boop, you're infected. Oh, what a cute little baby. Pinch your cheeks, it's infected.
Yum.
And
Jesus.
Somebody eventually points out to him, you're going to kill us all. We're all going to turn into robots. Not me, I'm going to keep running. From everyone, forever? Who's going to cook your food? When are you going to take a nap? When are you going to chill out and stop for just a half second? You're going to be entirely alone with no one to troll, and you're going to be constantly being infected. Ah, yeah.
Well, it should be like, well, then I'll just go to the Prime world and infect all of them.
So I guess that's when Anti-Silver shows up. We're going to call him Sterling. And he's like, what did you do? I'm trying to ruin my time. You already ruined the past. How am I supposed to destroy Utopia if you already destroyed the past, you dingus?
Nice.
So you're gonna fix this so you can break it later. Yes. All right, dude. Whatever. And kind of wrote myself into a corner there because the Anarchy Barrel is going to kill them if they manage to uninfect everyone, disinfect everyone, cure. There we go. So somehow they do that and it doesn't happen. Also, the Lively Six are there to cure people?
Friendly Six.
Friendly Six. There we go.
Come on. I keep saying that every time. Friendly Six.
What are they doing? They're not... Because the Deadly Six are taking advantage of it and using the armies to their advantage. So I guess the Friendly Six are actively trying to cure the world.
Yeah.
Organizing the zombies, corralling them so the infection doesn't spread, finding ways to cure it with their own EMP powers.
Yeah, they're like a cool hippie group.
maybe we don't even need the anarchy barrel solution. They just do it themselves.
There you go.
And Scourge is like, thanks. And you get back to your planet.
Uh-huh. There you go. All right. Any more? That's a lot. We've done a lot already.
Yeah, I guess real quick. Clutch runs a orphanarium for various discarded chow and is nurturing them, and Rusty the Rascal wants to turn that into a cockfighting ring.
Oh, no. Oh, no. This one is from Ann Tales. Hey, Ian, just curious to what extent you were able to contribute to Sonato Generations. Were you a writer, consultant, creative mastermind, or nothing at all? Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
It is way too early for me to talk about my involvement with anything, so can't say a word.
Well, with that, let's move on to this next one here from Black Doom. Wahahaha, I am back in the big leagues, boys. Lord Flynn, architect of reality, please accept my infinite gratitude.
Again, can't talk about how much I was involved with that decision-making process, but you're welcome.
Yep. Welcome back. Welcome back, Black Doom. Welcome, Black Doom, back to back. He's spinning on his back. Apparently, people are requesting that Black Doom actually reads this one, Ian.
Oh, well, of course.
Okay. You can't get away from it this time.
All right, we'll just do that real quick.
Bring him in.
I'm back in the big leagues, boys. Lord Flynn, architect of reality, please accept my infinite gratitude.
Get out of here, Black Doom. Go back. Go away. Just go over there. Go sit over there.
Kyle with a push broom shooing him out the window like a bat.
Just go sit over there.
Goes out perches on like power line or something.
Buttered noodles is here the question. How do you imagine Sonic sees his own power level? Obviously, he sees himself as powerful, but does he know his limits, or would he see his power as endless?
I don't think he puts a lot of thought into it. I don't think it's something he contemplates or gets hung up on. He just goes and does. And if he hits a wall or meets something that's kind of insurmountable, he figures out a way to get around it. I don't think he, tries to quantify or justify what he does. It's, okay, I couldn't outrun that thing. I'll just have to run faster. Couldn't beat that thing. I just got to hit it harder or hit it faster or both.
Mm-hmm. Limit? I got your limit right here.
Exactly.
Here's one from Chaos Sonic 1. In one of Starline's isekai adventures, he accidentally takes an isekai straggle Eggman Nega. How does it go, and how many times do they both die till they are away from each other and no Nega plush? Instead, Nega becomes something humiliating. How does it go? Punctuation, please.
What is a straggle?
I think a straggler might be what they meant. Yeah, he accidentally drags Nega along with him into his next isekai. Okay. Yeah. Why? I shouldn't ask why. I was gonna ask why people keep bringing up Nega. They really want me to read that one, don't they? You want me to read that one wrong, don't you?
Starlight gets brought back and chaotic in front of. Oh, this is the worst one yet.
Yeah.
Ew.
Get it off.
And then he finds Eggman Descendant, if that makes you feel any better. Or Pappy Egg, we'll call him, maybe. No, we have to preserve the legacy. Drags him out through the nearest portal. Or maybe you can't find a portal. If it's flying around kind of cranky, it was denied access to this other realm to feast upon, and it can take control of minds. So maybe he just plays Rock'em Sock'em Robots with these last two villains left on his world. Constant mind control battle between these two villains, MacGyvering whatever deadly weapon they can out of the rubble.
Yeah. How long does it take for Starline to figure out that Eggman Nega is actually the love child of him and Eggman? I mean, look at Nega's color scheme and tell me I'm wrong.
It's a moment too late. His makeshift doom laser vaporizes the old man.
Yep.
Goes, "Oh, what a pity. He was such a dapper dresser. Oh, my goodness. So much like myself. Did I just..." And that's when a piece of debris splats and off he goes on the next adventure.
There you go. There you go.
And Ifrit is sad because he has no more toys.
Well, he'll just have to get some new ones. Here's one from Chunka. Hedgehogs are understandably rare in the Sonic series, are they? Besides Sonic and Metal, we only have 3 other characters of the same species. And while that's also the case for a lot of the other characters in the series, it makes me wonder, if you were tasked in creating yet another hedgehog to join the series, what would they be like? Would you take inspiration from past characters like Scourge, or would you want to go in a completely new direction?
Depends on who the character is and what they're doing for the story. Like, what about them being a hedgehog is important? Like, it was important for Shadow because he was introduced as an antithesis to Sonic. It's, the Goku Vegeta type thing. It's the General Zod to Superman. It's, the evil analog. And Shadow grew beyond that, clearly, but that's just kind of like what he is. Amy, by extension, is the Mini to his Mickey. It's, there you go. So what is it about this hedgehog that needs to be a hedgehog?
Yeah.
And I don't really know if there's a lot of other directions to go with that. Like, to me, it's more interesting. What is the character? Like, who are they in the story? What is the relationship to Sonic or the cast? What do they bring to this? How do they reflect these characters, and how do they support them, or how do they challenge them? And what are the stories that are derived from that? The species is largely irrelevant in most of these cases. Like, Silver being a hedgehog is more or less the kind of continued Saiyan parallel. It's not really so much hedgehog being important because it's a species, but it's because the protagonist is one.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's supposed to be another heroic hedgehog that challenges Sonic's placement in the hierarchy of the world. If it's family, hello Manic / Sonia / both. Or God, somebody new, because that's exactly what we need. Even more Sonic relatives. I mean, Shadow 2.0, since Shadow's kind of been relegated to the grim rival rather than straight up villain. Although I feel like we already have that with Surge, kind of, and she's a Tenric, which is close enough to Hedgehog. It's Hedgehog if you squint.
Hedgehog adjacent. I'm being told Amy's rival. It's like, why does Amy's rival have to be a hedgehog? I don't know.
Insofar as there's a reason why Shadow and Silver are hedgehogs, I'm not 100% opposed to that, but I would hesitate even more though because we have so many hedgehogs.
I know. It's like, why isn't saying hedgehogs are understandably rare? I'm like, wait a minute, are we looking at the same Sonic series?
Like, you got 2 cats, you got 2 rabbits, and 1 of everything else.
Pretty much, especially one echidna.
Hedgehogs.
You don't even have echidna in the background. You only have 1 ever. It's just like the underrated anime Footy Cootie. I guess 3 cats if we count Honey.
Yeah, and if you really want to get into it and just say the Avatar counts as more.
Okay, and Tikal is another echidna, but she's
all right.
She's like, she wasn't alive technically.
We don't really know if she's still around actively.
She wasn't alive at the time.
I mean, she does kind of show up in multiplayer stuff, so she's still kind of around.
Well, how canon is that, Ian?
Not, but, it's more than, how many foxes do we have? There aren't just Tails variants. At least she's a distinct other echidna.
I suppose.
For pity's sake, we have more Zeddy than we have foxes. That's weird.
Maybe. That is kind of weird. I mean, we do have, I don't know. I can't think of any. I guess you're right. Maybe Boom has some background ones, but yeah. A second lemur. Crazy. That would be wild. All right, here's one from DDR Master M. It's properly February now, so it's time for more of Ian's favorite subject, shipping. To start, on one side, we have a crazed conspiracy theorist who is now pursuing a supernatural being of mythic proportions. On the other, we have a guardian with a secret power to turn into a dragon. It's Styx versus Trip or Styx and Trip, how does this date or pairing play out? Very, very brown and orange.
It's hard for me to imagine Styx in any kind of like conventional romantic scenario.
They did do that in Boom, but they also, flipped it on its head immediately.
Yeah, so
Constantly.
I don't know. Maybe they're on like a hunting expedition, kind of trekking through the wilderness in search of this grand mystical being, this legendary golden dragon that only appears in times of crisis. And Trip is really self-conscious and really doesn't want to say that she's the one, but they're kind of out having fun, so she'll just kind of humor her and tag along, drop a little factoid about North Star Island here or there.
I think it'd be adorable. It'd be a little weird at first, but ultimately adorable. Here's one from Dice. This has probably been retconned, but I remember long ago, Mobians were created due to a gene bomb that was supposed to wipe out the planet's life, but caused some animals to evolve. I was wondering if this was still canon. Would it allow animals like Vector and Espio to grow hair? And if so, what hairstyle would you give them? All right, this question went in a different direction than I expected.
Okay, number one, that was like old Archie lore. No, it does not hold up.
It's not currently canon, no.
No.
And it was never canon to like the franchise as a whole. It was only Archie.
Yeah. Like the first half. As for hair,
I mean, I think Vector's just got to have like some Blues Brothers style mop,
unless he's got like the Columbo flyaway,
or that. Yes.
I mean, we might as well complete the look given the jacket and everything. And Espio, we can't tell because he shaves.
Well, there you go. That makes some sense. Here's one from Domino. Would Surge ever use a gun?
Maybe.
I mean, she should. Let her. Let's see what happens.
I mean, on the one hand, I don't think she's above doing whatever she needs to win the fight. But at the same time, I don't think it's really her style. If she just can't get in there and mix it up herself, then what's the point?
Murder. That's the point, is murder, Ian.
Unless Kit like puts together a personalized, electromagnetic accelerated rail gun that she charges herself. So she's literally shooting people with her own spite. She might get behind that.
No, she just use a gun, Ian. Just straight up, it's a gun.
So boring.
Surge said guns weren't her thing. I don't know, man. Let her have a gun. Let her have her okay, fine. Give her a special gun. Like you said. Let her have a gun. Double L is here with a question. Let's mix things up. Surge and Kit's isekai adventures begin. The two of them are accidentally hit by a truck in Restoration HQ and are flung into Prime's New York City. You've already heard how Starline would act in this world, but what about the other imposters? To be clear, there are still the IDW versions of themselves, the Prime version. I'm not asking for a million reinterpretations of Pirate, Leaf, Grim, or City versions of the characters.
Appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
I think Surge would see this as a golden opportunity, maybe with a little bit of coaching from Kit. But, you have an entire populace that is oppressed by the bad guys, and there is no Sonic to save them. No big hero for them to latch onto. So she is 100% in the right to raise absolute bedlam, and she's still going to come out the good guy in this. Like, she can do bad things to bad people and be rewarded for it. Oh, it's party time.
Yeah. Nice. All right, let's take a quick break and then come back with more on the BumbleKast.
And we're back with more BumbleKast, and we're starting off with the weekly giveaway question. We have these rotating over on our Twitter, Tumblr, Blue Sky, Instagram, and Facebook accounts. So follow us there. Look to see when the opportunity arises for you to get your free question on the show and seize that opportunity.
All right, so this one is from Blue Sky, and it comes from Crazy Dynamite. Recently, I remember that Ian is a Tales fan. So my question is, what is your opinion on Tales of Graces? Who's the best character, and why is it Pascal?
You're not wrong. I mostly enjoyed it. Tales of Graces F, I should specify, because the original was rushed out the door and was a little slower to jump on the Graces bandwagon because I heard it was super buggy. I think like there was a full recall because it was unplayable at launch. And this was before you could do patches. So they actually had to ship discs back and forth.
Big oof.
Ooh, it was a mess.
Yeah.
It did some interesting stuff narratively, structurally. I wasn't as fond of the battle system, and I know that I'm in the minority there. It never clicked with me, really. Aaliyah was great with it. Like, she took to it like a duck to water. She was just mowing things down with Hubert, and I'm over there hitting like the same 2 combos with Asbel because that's all I can manage. So it never really resonated with me totally, but the characters are all right. There's one particular line that stuck with me where Hubert's going on this long rant about, why he's never going to get tied down and settle down, because then you just have some woman who's taking your money and going off to buy some fancy hat. And then Richard's like, that's oddly specific. And that delivery of oddly specific just resonates with me and stuck with me. And I trot it out every now and again. Sophie is perfect, awesome. Daughteru must be protected from everything and all things. She is a wonderful cinnamon bun. Nothing bad must ever happen to her. Also, she has some of the best mystic arts in that game. Holy crap. The mystic arts in general were pretty good in that game. I still think Tales of the Abyss has the best in terms of presentation and speed of delivery, but Grace has had some pretty cool ones. I feel like some of them get a little too razzle-dazzle and a little too fast as time goes on. But also, a man speaks with his back. Once you have context for that, you know what I'm talking about. Mwah. Fantastic. Excellent. And yeah, Pascal, absolutely delightful. The wonderful, chaotic, good energy that any party needs. And her dual mystic art with Udine is just so much fun. Like, I don't know who thought of that, but it was great. And the Evert ones, that's fun. The pummel, and whatnot. But no, dual sniper rifle water cannons. No, great stuff. Love it. The story itself, it's fine. It's okay. Not terribly memorable for me. It's more the individual character interactions that stuck for me. Don't know if the cast gelled quite as well as some other games, but it was fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
How could I forget The Mask of Verona?
Oh, no.
The running gag where the very straight-laced and incredibly traumatized party member starts LARPing as someone in a mask, and it's where his complete id is released. And nobody really falls for it, but they kind of humor him anyway. It's cute in a dumb way. Also, canonical pillow forts.
You know what? I'll take it. All the pillow forts. All right. Next question is from E2 Under Paragon. In IDW Sonic issue 51, an egg gunner from Sonic 06 makes a cameo in the background. Obviously, it's just a part of acknowledging all badniks across the franchise, but lore-wise, its existence creates an interesting contradiction. The Egg Gunner is featured in all of the marketing as being the dedicated infantry of the Egg Carrier Mark II, which Eggman made after he took over the Kingdom Valley in Soliana. Since the Solaris Paradox erased the events of Sonic 06, the Egg Carrier Mark II was never made, meaning the Egg Gunner should not exist. The fact that it appears in IDW implies that despite the paradox, Eggman still made that line of robots. So my question is this: is it possible for the Egg Carrier Mark II to appear in IDW? Or is all of Sonic 06 off the table because of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey nonsense?
For Egg Tech, I think it's pretty much fair game. Because it isn't necessarily tied to the events of 06. That's what Eggman's forces were at the time. And then at some point in between, they got blowed up. I think it's more of an issue of stylistic dissonance between that and later tech that Sega might flag as we prefer not to see that, to have a 06 robot immediately next to like a color styled Motobug. But Canonically, I figure he built it and it got blown up, and we just didn't see that particular adventure in the final, however that timeline shook out.
Alrighty. Here's one from Fang. In the new Paramount Plus Super Bowl commercial, Knuckles, alongside Arnold from Hey Arnold, Patrick Stewart, Master Chief from Halo, Peppa Pig, and a bunch of other celebrities are climbing up a mountain. When they have no choice, Patrick Stewart gives the idea to throw Arnold like a football to climb up a cliff. In said commercial, Knuckles agrees to throw a child. Ian, do you think every Knuckles in every piece of Sonic media would do the same thing?
Yes.
Every
different ones.
Huh?
Different ones might need a little more convincing than others, but all would, yes.
All would eventually come around to throwing the child.
I think Boom Knuckles might actually jump the gun and not ask for anyone. It would just be, hey, you look like a football.
Yeah.
Chief, go along.
Yeah, I think he would. Yeah, he would.
I don't know why my Boom Knuckles is lapsing into Patrick Warburton, but...
I don't know either, but that's okay. Even Underground Knuckles? Would it?
I think he would have to be convinced to do this. This is the plan, and he would go along with it.
Maybe.
I think Knuckles would have to be introduced to the idea, hey, that kid's got a head like a football. Maybe we should throw him. Yeah, all right, I'll do it.
Also, this commercial is like simultaneously the dumbest and best crossover in the world. But we know Knuckles would put a baby in a blender anyway, so.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's true. All right, here's one from Finest Cacophony. Maria's died a lot, and she'll likely be dying twice more by the end of the year. So, begs the question, which Sonic medium do you think portrayed this heavy scene the best? Whether it be SA2, Shadow 05, or Sonic X? Or maybe Sonato Generations, if Ian is willing to loosen them knowing smile lips.
Okay, in the previous episode, somebody called it Sonato Generations, and that was their wording of it, so I'm going to let it slide. Don't you do it too.
Why not?
Because this show is tangentially connected to the main product. It's just Sonic and Shadow Generations. Do not get me in hot water, Kyle.
Ian, hold on. Sonic and is it Sonic and Shadow Generations, or Sonic Cross Shadow Generations, or Sonic X Shadow Generations? Why did they do this? What is this marketing? They should have just called it Sonato Generations, because honestly, that would be easier to say. And would be easier to read, because nobody knows what the X or the cross or the that is supposed to mean. And also, they had to know. Someone had to tell them when they came up with that title what that usually means, right? Did you tell them, Ian?
So anyway, I think each scene is very different in terms of its application. Like SA2, the scenes that we are given are very brief and kind of punctuated by the shock of the moment, which is supposed to be interpretive to how Shadow is reacting to those memories. They're brief, they're brutal, they're filled with a lot of confusion and sometimes misdirection, and that lends itself to his own confusion and sense of anger and loss. With Shadow 05, they're more lingering. It's more about kind of setting the scene and things around it so that you feel who Maria was. And then Sonic X, I don't remember exactly how they did the exact scene, but I do remember really enjoying that they spent the whole investigative journalism arc finding the soldier who did the deed and getting and uncovering the cover-up and bringing the conspiracy to light. That I thought was the best use of the Sonic X setting to extrapolate upon the game material. A+ on that. So I don't think it's a matter of what scenes did it better, because they all attempted different things with the story point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, someone's really got to tell those guys in marketing what that X actually means in the West. Godzilla has a question. I've come back with another Archie Comics What If. In the Knuckles series, Sally said the reason she was orange and pink was due to falling into a vat of chemicals. So, I ask you, what if the vat of chemicals did more than just bleach her fur? What if it had warped her mind and she went insane? After all, what doesn't kill you only makes you stranger. What if Sally became the Sonic Universe's Joker? I mean, what else are you supposed to do besides become a supervillain after falling into a vat of chemicals and getting your skin bleached?
This is it. This is Sally's Joker moment.
Finally.
God. Although it does pose an interesting question of when you have a character who is meant to be the straight foil, who is the analytical and serious and strategic one, and you put them through the chaotic evil filter, what do you get? Like, how do you approach that? Do you maintain that level of thoughtfulness and constructiveness, but put it towards more wicked designs, like lawful evil, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you make it a total corruption of the original character so that all that was good and endearing about them is now lost and corrupted into a twisted version of what it was? You know, some Rube Goldberg machine that ends up doing nothing but causing pain or something stupid. I don't know really how to approach it, because what then becomes of Sally in the greater narrative? She was kind of the head and the heart of the team. She kept the Freedom Fighters cohesive and with a direction. If she is lost in full Joker mode, what does that do to the team? Is she still anti-Eggman? Is she a rogue agent? What is her role in the story, and how does she interact with the other characters? What do you do with her after that? I mean, it's one thing to say, okay, now she's Joker. What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
What does that do with her? And I don't have an answer for that off the top of my head, because it's such a radical departure from what she was normally.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Just as long as she's voiced by Mark Hamill, then that's fine. That's all that matters.
Where were you when they were handing out the brains?
No, when the brains were handed out.
Damn it, I always get that wrong.
Yeah, that's okay. I forgive you.
She would rock the purple suit, though. Gotta give her that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big old green pompadour.
All right, here's one from Geo Knuckles. From Power Rangers Samurai, which Sonic characters can be Samurai Rangers? The red stoic leader, the blue second in command, pink is the girl, green the creative rebel, and yellow a young girl, and gold is a fisherman / tech whiz. So, Big the cat with a computer.
It's just the fishing rod with the Miles electric duct tape to it.
There you go. Yeah. I don't know.
That way he can oversee his fishing schemes and his fishing schemes.
There you go. It's the Dreamcast fishing controller. I like it. I like that. Thank you, Chad.
Well, I think. See, I'm always inclined to go with the color coding for the characters, but that doesn't really apply because, I mean, if we take Knuckles out of like Forces and call him
the red stoic leader, you could say that's Knuckles. Blue second in command, and Sonic is a second in command to Knuckles. I don't know. He might go for it just to sit there and razz him, right?
Maybe, or give it to Sally. I kind of balk at the idea of Sally being second in command to Knuckles, but I mean, she wears blue.
And she's the one who is like, you know, actually in control. Like Knuckles is the figurehead, but she's actually the one with all the plans. Yes.
Pink, the girl, Amy.
Does it have to be Amy? I guess it has to be Amy.
Green, the creative rebel. I don't know. Let's give it a Surge. It can be creative.
And a rebel.
Yellow young girl. That's Cream. That's kind of.
I suppose.
I guess.
And
we're
gold.
We're casting a wide net with these tropes here.
Very, very wide. Is gold is big. Big with a computer. I guess. It works for me. Here's a question from Happy Times. Where was Nicole in the X years later future? Was that Nicole part of the time loop where she gets destroyed, rebuilt by Rotor, and then sent back to the past, or was she just somewhere else?
I think the initial intention was that she was constructed in that timeline, constructed in that era and sent back.
Yeah.
But that would have been 25 years later? And then 30 years later would have been the jump. So we would have had post jump, but no, because Rotor would have sent her back. And this is me going off of fuzzy memory exactly of how this was supposed to link up, because I can't remember 100% if we were working with the notion that 25 and 30 years later was the same light Mobius future timeline as was hinted at in like the Sally miniseries and stuff. Probably just to keep things semi-simple.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, never mind the time reboot within that timeline. My gods. So it's a convoluted mess. I think ultimately she is kind of not present in X years later because she is sent back. And then, you know what? Short answer is I'm not 100% sure, because with all the reboots and timeline shuffling, I'm not 100% locked on how that would work out. I would literally have to go back, dig up all of my old Archie pre-reboot notes and read through it again.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's a lot of notes.
And it kind of locks in one of the reasons why I didn't like the idea of the X years later being the canonical future, because then that means that whatever growth Nicole was going through in the primary timeline, you knew she would have to die at some point to be rebuilt as a lesser version of herself and sent back in time to start the process all over again. That's such a bleak outlook for a fan favorite,
Yeah, no, let's not do that. Retcon time. Why not? Wouldn't be the first time. Here's a question from Hatok. I have an important Valentine question this month. What are the best Sonic songs to serenade an existing or potential partner? There's some obvious and less obvious choices, but my dark horse pick is Lazy Days, Living in Paradise. It's a good one.
That's a choice.
I think that's the best choice.
Couple of spring to mind from Sonic R. Diamond in the Sky and Back in Time.
Okay, all right. I'll
So
give you those.
take me back in time to another world where you can be mine. We don't have to worry when you're by my side. I mean, that lends itself to a Valentine's thing, don't it?
Sure, that's nice. I mean, I guess those work. Let's see. What else? What other
Team Rose's theme kind of works.
I suppose. Yes.
Maybe drop the tempo a little bit and take it a little easier, so it's not so
Maybe.
sugary poppy, but follow me inside, outside, through the stratosphere.
How about My Sweet Passion?
I mean, if you're into it.
The Sphinx was so cute. You know what they had to do with it. That's super romantic.
For some people, I'm sure it is.
I'm sure it is. Yes, you are right. Supporting Me. There you go. That's a good one.
Again, if that's what keeps your motor running, turn that key. I'll be over here.
I mean, honestly, there's something about the Wyvern boss fight in the I know it's weird, but like the chorus, I don't know. I think it could work. It's like really surprisingly uplifting, Break through it all, yeah. Slow it down a bit, change the genre. Could work. All right. Here's one from Hearts 13. Oh, and it's a question for me. Do you want to read this one, Ian? Okay.
Yeah. This one goes to Kyle, JCRB Krause. If you could have written any two Sonic story arcs for the comics, what two storylines, one from Archie Sonic and one from IDW Sonic, would you have written them from scratch? They don't have to be great story arcs. They just have to be story arcs.
Let's see. We'll go with for Archie, like the one inspired by the cover of my first issue that I got as a subscription, at least. Not the first one I ever read, but the first one I remember getting in the mail, which was issue number 13, aka Knuckles' first issue. And that was the one with Mobotropolis Motor Speedway on the front cover. It's like, I was hoping that was a real thing. It never was. So I would make that a real thing. That would be my story arc for that. I don't know what it would be exactly. Probably just like a Days of Thunder parody. because that's what everything in the book was at that time, a freaking like parody or, something equally silly. To put it all in there. As for IDW, oh geez, I don't know. How do I do it? IDW is harder because it's you can't be silly. You can't be as silly with it, Although I guess I could do like a classic story arc.
Or Sonic has a fever dream and you can be as wacky as you want.
Yeah, but then Sega would never allow that. Sega wouldn't let that happen. Let's see. I don't know for this one. I'm really unsure. Maybe like Eggman gives himself a promotion. I'm not very good at ideas.
It's nice to have job security.
Yes. This is why Ian does the work. Not me. This is why Ian writes them. I don't. I don't know. I don't know, man. If you guys got any story ideas, put them in the comments below. This one from Icy. Imagine the story of Little Red Riding Hood, but this time it's Tangle as Red Riding Hood and Whisper as the Big Bad Wolf. Didn't we just do this one? How does Tangle react to this betrayal and when she skips into the cottage?
If I had 2 nickels for every time we received this question, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's still kind of weird.
Well, the last one was about Halloween, to be fair. It was like,
yeah.
So this is like, well, what if this was actually like, Tangle was Red Riding Hood and Whisper is the Big Bad Wolf?
I mean, I think Tangle would be initially confused about how did Whisper actually eat her grandmother? That just doesn't seem logistically possible. Like, they're the same height. And Whisper's going like, you're thinking about all the wrong things at this point. And he's like, hold on. Like, okay, we met in the woods back here, and then I took the shortcut. You gave me the wrong shortcut. That wasn't short at all. It was a long cut. You tricked me.
That's it. You did it. You figured it out. All right. Next question from Jara. Last year, Sega had a delightful calendar event wherein the Sonicast had a collection of monthly isekai adventures, which were eventually revealed to be the manifestation of the world's dreams. Since Dank Gaia and Chip the Light Gaia are the Earth and are slumbering, I must ask, which one of them was dreaming of Tails in a dress, Shadow and Infinite as a pop star duo, and Omega as a flower arrangement shogun?
Oh, Chip. Every single time.
Not Dank
you go
Gaia?
to bed with that much sugary food on your stomach, you're going to dream all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, but Dank
all
Gaia,
Dark Gaia
though.
got was a bunch of punches in the eyeballs.
No, it's not Dark Gaia. It's Dank Gaia, Ian. That's
Whatever.
what was written in the question. I am reading it as written.
I know.
Dank
Whatever.
Gaia.
Evil worm monster thing.
I don't know. I don't know if Jara did that intentionally or not, but that's what it says. So that's what I'm going with. Dank Gaia. I guess I would explain why Chip's got the munchies so bad. Now we've figured it out. This has been officially we have officially figured it out, Ian. This is it.
Kyle, just because everyone who was exposed to the gaseous emissions of this Gaia lost all inhibitions and started partying and losing all their inhibitions, and doesn't necessarily mean.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? We're going to just stop right there.
Yeah, well, and we got one last question. This one's from JCR1216. For the first date, Tangle decides she wants to be a ninja and asks SPO to teach her how to be one. How dangerous is Tangle with a katana?
I think the one thing that's in the most danger immediately is her tail.
Unless she's using her tail to do the sorting.
I maintain my original answer. The tail is in great peril.
Oh, I figured the tangle or the tail would be the one causing the great peril.
No, it's that is not a tail for katana wielding. Maybe for fencing.
Yeah.
But katana, no, completely different discipline.
Okay.
All that needs is one wrong swipe and she's joining rough and tumble.
Cool. This is sorta dangerous.
Yeah. Oh, what a tangle web we weave.
Ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba. I stole that one from the chat, by the way. I can't take credit for that one.
And that's going to wrap us up for this episode of the BumbleKast. Thanks to everyone who sponsored the show via patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we will see you next time on the BumbleKast.
What's new, pussycat? Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, that's enough of this nonsense. Ah, my head's spinning. Oh,
Big, that'd be a little funnier, but
yeah,
they asked for silver, so.
yeah, yep. Black Doom question. Which one was that? The one about Black
I was
Doom?
just saying thanks for bringing me back.
Oh, that one? That wasn't even a question. There was no question in that one.
Just more of a shout out.
I know. That was funny. Let's mix things up. Serge and Keats is... Serge... Wow, I don't know why I read it that way. Serge and Keats. Also, why would she have a super scope? Sega made the Menacer. Look up the Menacer. She would have that. I mean, it's even a better name. You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org. Oh no. Oh no. Hold on a second, Ian. Keep the people entertained for a second.
I am juggling, but you can't see it because this is an audio only show.